Quality, reliability, and longevity. When you hear these three terms, what comes to your mind? Probably this. So what's up with Toyota and why only their engines are so highly regarded when there are other manufacturers in India whose engines will equally last the test of time? There is the 1.3 litre turbo diesel engine from Fiat, which is the reason we all love the Swift so much. There is the 1.5 litre diesel and 1.3 litre turbo petrol from the Renault-Nissan alliance, which is also used by Mercedes. And how can we forget the 1.5 litre TDI from Skoda Volkswagen? So why is the mass market so obsessed with Toyota? Are their engines really that legendary, or is it just clever packaging? Toyota started its journey in India in the year 2000 with the launch of the Qualis. The Qualis was aimed at the large Indian families who wanted to drive themselves, which could seat up to 10 people, at least according to the brochure. Well, I've easily seen about 15-16 people being stuffed into it. The Qualis is kind of an oddball here because it looked like an SUV, it had the space of a van, and it drove like a sedan, at least compared to its competitors back then, which was the Tata Sumo, the Rhino, and the Mahindra Bolero, which were rather utilitarian and had a truck-like feel to drive. Even the variants of the Qualis were FS and GS, which was Family Saloon and Grand Saloon, pushing the mindset that this was a saloon car for large families. Now coming to the heart of the matter, which is in fact the heart of the car, the engine, the 2.4 litre diesel engine, which embedded in people's mind that Toyota cars are indestructible, is where it all started. Now a quick comparison, just hear me out. The engine of a car is like the heart of our body. Just like we have veins carrying blood, the engine has small holes which carries oil up and down. Just like we have kidneys which purifies our blood, an engine also has an oil filter which cleans the oil and maintains its optimum quality. Just like we have valves in a heart which open and close, the engine also has valves which open and close, thus maintaining the power of the engine. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that you cannot justify the workings of a heart or a human being by based on where they are born. A particular human being born in this place would be better than a human being born in the other. The same way you cannot justify that an engine made by a particular manufacturer will outlast the other one. Although there are some manufacturers which are known to make a reliable engine, speaking in general terms, if you maintain an engine well, keep an eye on all its fluids, warm up the engine before usage, and keep a check on its auxiliaries, it should outlast your expectation. It is not uncommon to see a two-door sports car or a family econobox run 5-6 lakh kilometers in other countries where roads are wider and speed limits are fewer. It is only in India that we feel when a car is run 1,500,000 kilometers that it has reached the edge of its life, and anything above that is a bonus. And this is where the entire Toyota mindset comes in, as large Indian families normally buy a Toyota. When they see that the car is exceeding 2 or 3 lakh kilometers, they feel that it is indestructible. Toyota has always followed the marathon strategy. If a person walks every day, he'll probably be able to walk 20 kilometers. But if a person runs every day, he'll probably only be able to run 10 kilometers. It doesn't make one better than the other. Though the replacement of the Qualis, the Toyota Innova, was much loved, in terms of the engine, there wasn't a major change. It was just a mere update from the Qualis' engine. The Innova got a 2.5 litre diesel engine with 102 bhp and 200 Nm torque, with the major change being the dual overhead camshaft. The internals remained rather similar. To put it into perspective, the Mahindra Marazzo made 120 bhp and 300 Nm torque with a 1.5 litre diesel engine, but could never get the attention it deserved, even though it was much more safer than the Innova. The same trend carried forward to the Fortuner. The Fortuner of the time had a 3 litre D4D engine, which was very similar to that of the Innova. It belonged to the same family, the 2KD FTV. It produced 169 bhp and about 340 Nm of torque, and was priced at about 33 lakh rupees. The Audi Q3 with its 2 litre diesel engine produced 180 bhp and 380 Nm of torque. So imagine what would have happened if it had a 3 litre engine. Let's take the most famous engine from Volkswagen Skoda family, the 1.5 litre TDI, which is used in the Rapid, Vento and the Polo, and let's multiply it by 2. So if the 1.5 litre engine was to be made a 3 litre engine, its bhp would be doubled. So it would have about 220 bhp of power and 500 Nm of torque. Keeping in mind that the highest variant of Rapid is 17 lakhs, even if you double it up, it ends up being cheaper than the Fortuner. So not only does this 33 lakh rupee Fortuner's engine is derived from the Innova, whose in turn is derived from the Qualis, this engine is also sports in the Toyota Land Cruiser Prado. So all the way from an 8 lakh rupee car to a 65-70 lakh rupee car. And this does not end with the engine. Also, a lot of interior panels and parts are shared. This is a picture of the 2014 Toyota Innova, the top end variant, which cost about 16 lakh rupees. And this is of the same year 2014 Toyota Fortuner, which is about 33 lakh rupees. As you can see, there are a lot of similarities in both of this. It does not stop there. This entire generation is based on the Toyota Hilux pickup, out of which we derived the Toyota Kijang, the Toyota Qualis, the Toyota Innova, the Toyota Fortuner and the Toyota Hiace. So a wide range of cars are derived from one particular model. Platform and engine sharing is not something new. A lot of manufacturers do it, but not a lot of them do it in such a vast price range. So when your 33 lakh rupee Fortuner cost you only 6 or 7,000 rupees in a service, it is not surprising because a lot of the service amount is already preoccupied with Toyota. In comparison with their competitors and their cubic capacity, they are slightly underpowered, but they're built for reliability. But with so much of parts sharing, so much of chassis components sharing, their price is quite overhyped. The recent Innova Creta and the recent Fortuners have different interiors, and also the Fortuner has been bumped up in power, about 200 bhp and 500 Nm of torque, but still cost a hefty 45 lakh rupees. The reason I'm focusing on the older cars is because it was the Qualis, the Innova and the Fortuner which got the brand the reputation it has today. They've enjoyed being in the market without any solid competitor for a long time to dictate the price for their own cars. And Toyota is realizing it now. With the increase in resale value for the older Innovas and Fortuners and the constant price hike in the newer Creta and the Fortuner, the existing Toyota buyers are holding on to their cars. They're not selling their older Toyotas to buy their new Toyotas. Now this is something which Toyota is worried about. They're not able to reduce their new car pricing, hence they have made a tie-up with Suzuki and launched cars like the Glanza, the Urban Cruiser and the upcoming Ciaz with the Toyota badging. These cars are not to be mistaken as Toyota products, and these are not meant for the actual Toyota buyer who is keen on buying the top-end Toyota Fortuner. These are meant for those who aspire to enter the Toyota brand, mainly for their kids. You see, this is a very good psychological game. If you do own an Urban Cruiser, which is a so-called Toyota SUV, and you travel with your son in it for the next 5, 6, 7 years, and when your son is capable of buying the next SUV, he's going to aspire to buy the Toyota Fortuner. Now that is a mind game Toyota is playing. In turn, if you had chosen to buy the XUV 300, maybe he would have been interested in the Thar or the XUV 500, because your kids always love the car which you buy. So coming back to our question, what makes Toyota's engines so reliable? Well, combination of all these factors. They're engines which are very well made, able to handle high stress and strain. They're slightly underpowered engines which are made to run like a marathon runner, and their higher cubic capacity with ratio to their horsepower which reduces stress and strain to the internals, all making this car last for a lifetime. But there is one thing Toyota needs to keep an eye on, their increasing price. If this trend continues, there would soon be a time where the Fortuner would cost 60 lakh rupees, which would just make it out of reach for a lot of people. I hope you liked this video. This was a little deep and quite different. So we like making such insights and giving you a different kind of an opinion on what is going on. So if you like this, do hit the like button, do subscribe, and do let me know in the comments below on what other insights you'd like to know. Stay home and stay safe.